regular guys
Right.
first, you know, and then I decided I wanted. I knew it was yoga for regular guys was really more than anything in the pre-infomercial. It gave us credibility for as it would go down the line when I did the videos, and I could start to brand it YRG because they wouldn't let me call. I called it originally yoga for regular guys,
Right.
but they wouldn't let me call it YRG because I didn't want to have the name yoga in it because
Then people think it's like just yoga.
right yoga, but they also would be in a spot where the real yogis they'd be sort of offended.
Right. Because it's totally different. You changed.
Right, but I did so many different things, different from the names to different moves to how I did it.
How did you even like get the whole basis for it? Like, how did you change it? I mean,
Well, it started with when I ruptured my L4 and L5, and you'll hear this again tomorrow. When I ruptured my L4 and L5, right at the end of '98. If you look, I'm in every pay-per-view from '94, '95 on. But then there's one I disappear for, then I come back for one, I disappear for one again. It was over that period. Like I tried to come back, but I wasn't ready yet. When I ruptured my L4 and L5, I was at a point right before that happened. Every time I would have to use body against body and this to get up.
right.
Because I didn't have this. I mean, I trained from here up, from here down. You do crunches and bullshit, but that's not core work.
Right.
And really, Pilates is a form of it. Yoga is a form of it, of core work. And now you've got a lot of different cross training and stuff, but too much of that stuff beats the shit out of your body. And when I ruptured my L4 and L5, it wasn't that one bump. It was all of them, as you know, accumulated over the years. And then finally, it just like shot me out. And I was with Canyon on the road, and I couldn't even sit in a chair. I mean, I had to sit like this going down the road.
That sucks.
Oh, it's brutal, man. I knew something was seriously fucked.
It's like Dreamer too. He had back problems back in the day.
I've been trying to get the Dreamer with me, and so is Brian, to get him to get on this program because every guy should be doing this, or at least do some form of yoga or something. But that's not in
Do you
their
know Tommy
mindset.
at all or no?
Yeah, I
He's
know
like my best friend.
Tommy.
I was gonna say.
But he should be doing this. This would help his body at a different level. So I had 3 doctors tell me my career's over. I just signed a multi-million-dollar deal. What people think and what really happened are two different worlds. I made no money those first fucking 8 years I was in professional wrestling. And Bischoff was my buddy for 4 or 5 of those. But he never wanted to see nepotism
Right.
step into it. So he would never give me like the really great deals on money. He was,
He took care of you, but didn't take care of you.
yeah, like I'll put it this, in 97 and 98, how much money do you think I made? That was my top. I was, Pro Wrestling Illustrated rated me number 4 2 years in a row. How much money do you think I made?
I have 250, 3.
Yeah, well, that's we went way down on that because that's what it was, 275, 295. That's what I made. Stink thought I was making 900,000. I was making 1/3 of that, and everybody that I was up there was making 7 figures or more that I was working.
Right. Right. Wow.
You know?
That's crazy.
But that I failed.
You were over too back then.
97, 98
Yeah.
would have been like the year.
Yeah.
99 was great too, but those were the 2 years that were the strongest. And when my back blew out, I just signed that deal. In the deal, it said, if you get hurt, you only get 50% of it.
Right.
So the money was a little bit of an issue, but it really wasn't the money. It was all the work that, it took me to get there.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
finally was there. Now, I'm sitting home now because, I can't go anywhere or do anything.
Right.
And Kim says, she comes up from downstairs soaking wet. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing down there? Hitting that cardio like crazy or what? She's like, I said, no, she goes, I'm doing that yoga tape that Marcy gave us. I said, get the fuck out of here. She's like, no, really, I am. Like, whatever. A couple days goes by. Every night she's doing it.
Right.
Coming up soaking, dripping wet. I go, are you serious? Are you really doing that tape down there? We had a Stairmaster, we had a bike, we had all that shit, And she goes, I swear to God. She said, I'm telling you, Paige, it could help. It'll make you feel better than you feel right now. That's what she said to me. I said, all right, I'll try. I said, don't you tell anybody, though. I mean, that's
Right.
Philly, Jersey,
Right.
Today it's way different. But, friggin' over 10 years ago, it was still yoga was it to Macho Cats. It was friggin' stop that,
Right.
So I went down there. The first workout, Rob. I was like, wow. I'm sweating my ass off. I'm not really moving. He had me in positions for a long time. Wasn't really crazy about that, but it was some. I was very limited to what I could do too. I couldn't even do a push-up on my knees. I mean, it was that. I could do one on my knees just a sec, going up and lowering myself. And I did it like every day. And sometimes I would do it twice a day.
How long was the workout for?
Probably I was doing about 40, started like a 30 minute, a 40, a 30 and a 40-minute workout. So I was doing that, and I was like starting to feel a little different, a little stronger, a little more flexible. And then Kim would come up and she'd go, "You're really taking this seriously," because now I'm not even watching the DVDs. I've got a few of these moves in my head, but I'm doing rehab too for my back.
Right.
So I'm taking some of those moves and putting
It's
that
like
into
wrestling.
it.
You're watching other guys and
Exactly. And then I started going to a couple Pilates classes. Didn't really like that, but there were a few moves I liked, and I knew it strengthened my back.
What exactly is a Pilates for those people that might not?
Pilates.
Sounds like an Italian dish.
Pilates, I tell you, I really don't know the technical terms for it. I just know that a lot of dancers do that workout, and it was huge as hell. 8-10 years ago, everybody's doing. There's Pilates machines. There's Pilates on the mat. Pilates on the mat is basically a form of yoga.
Right.
They just changed the name, hence YRG.
Right.
So I took some of their mat moves. I started to get stronger, because in yoga you go from a plank, you go all the way down, you do cobra, you do down dog. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's calming to yourself. It centers you. I didn't like that part. I liked the centering part and I liked the calming part, but I didn't like the non-aggressive, because as I started to lower myself easily, I still would push myself up, but I couldn't with my back, so I had to lower my knees. Instead of just doing that up and down thing, when he would say go down, cobra, I would go down, hold, and then push back up, then come down, hold, and then go to cobra, and which is literally this move right here.
Right.
So your transition is from lowering. I could do that, and I could hold, but I couldn't push myself up, so I just lowered my knees, and I got a little bit of movement there, and then I'd come off my knees, and little by little, I built my strength. Because when you do yoga, you lower, you lift, you go into down dog. So what I did was lower, hold, lift, lower, hold. Then I'd go. So I started adding things
To
what he did, and then I started to make those where I could do 1 second like that.
Is that good for your abs too?
It's your whole core.
Yeah.
And if you're strengthening, if you're tightening everything, well then your whole body is, from my toes, I'm engaging every muscle, meaning flexing.
Right.
So then I started at 3 seconds. 3 seconds lower, 3 seconds hold, 3 seconds up, 3 seconds lower, 3 seconds hold, then go into cobra. Then I went to 5. Then I built up to 10. Then I came up with what the secret sauce is, and it's dynamic resistance. And dynamic resistance is the engaging of muscles. And you got to show you, because I want you to show his face.
Okay.
When I actually go from one position to another. And let me just get this heart monitor on. Why do you see when I pull out of this bag?
Are you gonna have people doing this tomorrow at the studio?
Yuki will do part of it.
Yuki.
I've got my blanket,
Right.
because I want to see my cousin. I've got my body pillow. I want to be comfortable. I don't care about bringing a lot of shit with me.
Oh yeah, I hate hotels, man. I can't sleep in them.
I went to an autograph signing, got the world title belt.
Nice.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're going right to the sign.
No, well, I did it before. I came in.
Oh, you had a signing before you?
Actually, St. Charles. Have you ever heard of Klinger Promotions?
Is it a wrestling company?
Yeah, but they're more of an autograph. They're
know.
really nice people. Really nice people. And I've known her for years, so she was just a big fan.
Right.
Then she became, she wanted to, start to book guys and create a business. And, they've lost on a few and they made a few. The thing is, she did it was really neat, that they did a luncheon. So it was like lunch with DDP autographs.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, lunch.
Joel Goodhart used to do that. I don't know if you know Joel.
Yeah, Joel,
He used to do
sure.
that all the time back then.
Sure. I always liked Joel. Always
He was
liked
cool.
him.
He's doing insurance again.
Oh, is he?
Actually, I'm going to see him on Sunday. He's doing a wrestling show in Jersey.
Yeah, please tell him I was asking about
I
him.
will.
I always thought he was the nicest guy. So, let's see, you see, nobody really talks about heart rate. Everybody thinks, what do you think is where your heart rate should be when you're in a fat burning zone? Where do you think?
Actually, I don't even know.
Nobody does.
If I say 170, will I be off?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know where my heart rate is right there?
18.
Okay, no, 91. Dyslexic boy.
Okay.
91. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what dynamic resistance is. Dynamic resistance is the engaging of muscles as you move from one position to another. So when you engage or flex your muscle, it makes your heart rate it makes your heart have to pump blood faster because you're engaging that muscle, which makes it hard.
Right.
Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly bend my knees and automatically engage your quads. If you didn't, you just crumble. So you engage your quads. Now I'm going to straighten my legs. I'm going to try to pull my legs together. If they're on ice, they would slide together. So now I'm working this muscle all the way through. Those are big muscles. This muscle right here, though, your quads and your glutes, your ass, two biggest muscles in your body. You engage both of them, your heart rate goes boom, 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 boom. Your body doesn't naturally do that. You have to really focus on it. Plus, I'm trying to pull my feet together. So I'm working my feet, calves, adductors, and my glutes. Now I'm going to take my upper body, and I'm going to reach out. And I want you to imagine your body's a fire hydrant. When the fire hydrant pops on, like, watch what happens when my arm, boom, bicep, tricep, fingers. Now just do this to my fingers.
Do what? Just
like this right here. Feel how tight that, like right here. Feel this right there? No, the whole thing, the whole hand. See how tight that is? Right.
Super tight.
Exactly. So what I'm doing, as I'm reaching for the sky, by the way, I developed this for guys originally. So this is called touchdown. Exhale. I'm closing out the position, but I'm still flexing every muscle in my body. Because I'm trying to get my heart rate in the fat burning zone virtually standing still. So I'm just going to do that twice. I'm going to go into the diamond cutter, go figure, right? But notice my fingers aren't like this because everything gets disengaged. But when I do that, look what happens to my triceps, forearms. Inhale, take it back. Great stretch for your spine. Out to a T. Hulk it up, brother. Inhale. Tension, shoulders back, chest out. I'm just going to do that one more time. Diamond cutter, take it back. Arms out to a T. And then Hulk it up. Inhale. Tension, shoulders back, chest out. Now, what was my heart rate when we started?
91.
91. Where's it now?
122.
122. That's over 30 clicks. Now, to understand what that means, I haven't gotten in any of this shit yet. I haven't gotten any of this shit yet. I haven't gotten any of this shit exploding up. I haven't done anything.
So you could definitely 100% burn fat just from doing that. That's crazy.
A to Z. So,
is it me or you?
This is my girl. This is my,
my
PR girl. Yeah, baby. You can film this.
Alright, this will be funny.
Okay.
I'll have the narration real quick. What happened?
Okay.
We just were told that we can't film in a hotel when we walked in, so Dallas is going to take care of it.
Well, you want me to call yeah, give me the number. Oh, okay. Farah. 215 500 13. No problem. Okay. I'll call right now. Bye.
What happened? We had heat for filming in the lobby?
I got heat for
because
it's, who could walk in? Like, it could have been Madonna, whatever. Okay. Funny. You gotta tell me when you do this kind of stuff. I go, I'm not doing anything. Just talking shit.
Tiger Woods walking in, first person to film.
Hey, you know what? That's why that's why they give a shit.
You never know.
Hey, Farah. I just want to let you know that I'm sorry about the filming thing, but it was just my buddies were filming something for me, but I won't use anything. This is Diamond Dallas page. I won't use anything. It's like, I just didn't want you to panic or anything. I never really thought about that, but a place like yours, yeah, you really shouldn't be filming walking in a place like this because you never know who's going to be here and people will get offended or whatever. But oh, I get it. Believe me, I get it. I get it. Got it. No, don't. No, don't worry about it. I just wanted to call you so you could just go, okay, I get it. Not a problem. Love your name, by the way. Oh, not a problem. Thank you. Bye. That was classic.
Was that the manager?
That was like the PR girl.
Okay.
And it's the same thing we're just saying. It could be someone Tiger.
Right.
Would that really happen in a place like this?
Who knows?
What happens in the Motel 6, brother?
Exactly. Who knows where he goes?
So, the whole heart rate thing, you take 180 less your age. I'm 53. Take 53 less 180, that's 127. Now drop 20 clicks from 107 to 127, you're burning fat. Ideally, of course, between 117 and 127, you're going to burn the most fat. One of the best things about getting older, you don't have to have your heart rate up as high to burn fat.
So if I'm 38, so what should be the ideal heart rate?
You take 38 less 180, that's 142. Now drop 20 clicks from 122 to 142,
You're doing it so fast. I'm like, what?
138, just take round it off to 140.
Right.
Say you're 40, because you'll be there like that, Robbie.
Okay, don't say that.
You have to embrace it, babe. That's why I am actually 5 months, let's see, 3 months from 54. I'm 15 months from 55. That's going to be a monster year for me, dude.
It's crazy. 55
of the fucking double fives and all my karma and everything.
Right.
It's going to be insane. But you take your age less 180. That would be 38 less 180 is 142.
Right.
Now drop 20 clicks. Anywhere between 122 and 142, you're burning fat. Of course, obviously, 132 to 142 or 135 to 140. If you're in that zone,
right,
that's where you're burning the most fat. Now, if you're an athlete and you've got super, let's use the guy who I got this from, Mark Allen. Mark Allen won the Ironman at 32, 33, and 34. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not. Man.
Hawaiian Ironman. They swim 2.5 miles. They jump out of the water, they hop on their bike, and they race over the hills of Hawaii for 112 miles, and then they run a marathon.
How many miles?
112. Then they do 26.2 marathon.
Huh.
One after another after another. He won at 32, 33, and 34. 35, and I've got this article that he wrote. First I read the one Matheton wrote, and then the one that he wrote about it himself. He didn't place at 35 in top 10. And he knew guys who he knew he was still better than,
right,
and had respect for, and that had beaten him this time. And he found out that some of them were training with this guy Matheton. And he's a chiropractor, applied kinesiologist, really in tune with the body. And he's the one who discovered this, don't max your heart rate out. Because you burn your body out, because you're like a car.
Right.
You're running the red too long, what happens?
It's true.
All the time, man. Guys that are 38, 48, 58 years old, man, they run 10 miles every day, just dropped dead of a heart attack. Well, I wonder if he knew what his heart rate was. Not at the beginning and not at the end, in the middle.
Right.
During. And a lot of guys don't, because they don't know where it's supposed to be.
That watch actually monitors it, obviously?
The whole time.
Okay.
Like right now, I'm back to 91.
Yeah,
If I'm sleeping, you get the program. You get the DVDs, a heart monitor, and the whole thing for $59.90.
I'm going to try. I will.
Oh, she called back. Hey, I called her. She loved me. She was, she was a sweetheart. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm glad you brought it to my attention, darling. No, serious. I'm glad you brought it to my attention. I don't want to piss them off. I'm going to give you a good rate here. Perfect. So he goes to work out with Matheton, and the scale goes 10 beats either way. If you're like, 50 pounds overweight or haven't worked out in a couple of years and you're out of shape, maybe you want to drop 5 clicks from that. Say you're 38 instead of being 142, maybe you want to be 135. Maybe you don't want to go over 132.
Right.
Because when you're under 25, no pain, no gain. That works.
And then it catches up.
When you get over 30, 35, pain means pain.
Right.
So I want you to pay attention to this and make this part of your whole workout. So you modify your workout around your heart rate.
I know a lot of the cardio machines at my gym, it's supposed to, if you hold handles, and
right.
I can't ever figure out how to get the heart rate on.
Yeah, well, even if they did, they're holding the handles, the whole thing should be at 160, 170, no matter what their age is.
Right.
Okay.
It's probably, yeah.
That makes sense.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's not good. So, so he goes to work out, to do his program with Matheton. And when he sits down and talks to the doc, he says, okay, I want you to wear one of these things, strap it around your heart, around your body. It's going to feed into you what your heart rate's at. And he goes, you're 35 years old, so...
Oh, that goes with that?
Yeah, this goes together with this. So, and it zaps around you, and then, then
it reads it.
Right. It's right there. If it goes too far away, then it won't read, and then it'll have to reboot itself. But it just goes right back to that. So he tells Mark Allen, don't go, you would be 135 less 180 is 145. Now, because this cat is a supremely trained athlete, You go up to 10 more clicks, 155. No higher than that. So he goes out and does his workout. He comes back, he goes, Doc, this ain't gonna work. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, man, first of all, I barely broke a sweat. I don't feel like I did anything. And my times suck. And he goes, so what were you doing the mile in? And he writes, you send me an email, I'll send you this whole article he wrote. His mile time then was 8:21. Now, for me or you, 8:21 on a mile is pretty damn good, you know?
Right.
He was horrified by it, though. He said, here's what you need to do. You told me you'd stick with me for 4 to 6 months. 6 months from now, what you're going to find out staying at that same heart rate is you're going to reprogram your body, you're going to recondition your body, and your times are going to come down. 6 months later, his times have gone out of the 8s, and out of the 7s, out of the 6s, into the 5s. Same heart rate. So if you're working this hard for this result, or you're working this hard for this result.
Right, less is more.
Right. And in this scenario, you feel like you do the workout all over again. And I only follow, Rob, people who lead me by example. In wrestling, I follow guys like Dusty Rhodes, Jake Roberts, Mr. Perfect, Randy Savage, Terry Funk. You know, these guys could talk, they could move, they could work. You know, a little piece of each one of them. Jesse Ventura, Captain Lou Albano,
It's funny because I remember you calling all the time for those tapes.
Yeah. Study these people and then make it your own. And probably the biggest piece of me was between American Dream and Jake Roberts, who just happened to be my biggest mentors.
Right.
And if you watch me in the ring, how Jake would sit in the corner, I never realized until much later that I did that same thing, but totally different.
Right.
You know? And it was my own. And one of my greatest compliments, world titles, belts, and all that shit, really cool. But when Jake Roberts called me in 1997, and he said, congratulations. You know, his voice is like, oh, no, Jake, what'd you say? Hello, Jake?
Huh.
He makes me look like I'm a tenor or something. I said, Jake, congratulations for what? He goes, for reinventing the DDT. That was strong.
Right.
That was strong. So back to the heart rate and people I only follow by example. He goes on, Mark Allen, to win the Ironman at 36, 37, and 38,
So,
and then retires.
Right.
I'm following that guy's lead. That's where the heart monitor came into my whole workout. So now I got this workout. That's an all-in-one workout that gives me strength, flexibility, and cardio with no impact on my joints that anyone at any level can do. So now it becomes like a no fucking brainer. I work it into my workout while I'm still lifting weights because
Actually, do you still lift?
not anymore.
Right.
I haven't for 5 years. I will train once a month just to see where my weights are at. And I gave up like the last 2 years. I didn't even do that.
You could obviously still lift weights and do this on this.
Absolutely.
Would this be your cardio?
If I was still wanting to be 250,
Right.
255, I'm 230 right now. I look like I'm 220 because I'm so shredded because muscle weighs more than fat.
Right.
If I was like to get back in the ring like I did a couple of times this last couple of months, I got back in on the gym and lifted a couple weights just to see where my weights, you know, my strength was at on my incline. And the first week I didn't push it. I stayed on the Smith machine at 185. The second week, and I only did it twice, I went to 225. I got fucking 8 reps. And then pulled it off, and at 185, got 8 reps.
Right.
No, it was at 205, got 8 reps. Then pulled it off at 185 and got 8 reps. I mean, one after another. And I'm talking about real reps. We come down, hold, and push up. Now, this wasn't free weight. It's a Smith machine, which is lighter than that. But that's where I was at before I was getting 8 to 12 reps. When I was training all the time at the end. Because I stopped that heavy shit because you get so many tears in your body.
I fucked up my shoulder too. So.
Right, and I don't want to be fucked up.
Right.
I want to feel great. So with my workout, you're getting all of that shit in your body. So the guy was telling you about Arthur.
Yeah, I want to.
So did you see the thing that's on YouTube right now? Is that the one you saw?
I saw where he was being interviewed and he has kids.
Was it one
He was
where
wearing a red shirt. I know that. And he was walking
Yeah.
in the parking lot with a cane.
Right. He said I scared the hell out of him.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, that was the first part. I didn't see the finish.
Right. Okay. So that's where it comes from. That's from a movie called Inspired.
Right.
So to give you a little background on this, this buddy of mine, Steve Yu, is doing this movie called Inspired, and different people. It's about not so much about weight loss, even though that's a big part of it. It's about how do you stay inspired? How do you get inspired? How do you stay inspired? So I sent him a couple people, and nobody really, they were big starters and then
Right.
tail off, like so many people.
Huh.
Arthur, everybody who bought those DVDs, those first, not the ones today, the original old school DVDs, everybody who bought those got an email from me saying, hey man, thanks so much for believing in me. And I was selling those 3 DVDs. There was two, and two. There was 2 that were, I called 50 plus, 50 pounds for 50 years. They were $40, $39.95. The Fountain of Youth for 56 people, 50, 60, and 70 were $39. My other ones, the 3 DVDs, the ones that were the Max DVDs, the regular guy,
Right.
they were $59.95. You only got 3 DVDs. My new program, you get 6 DVDs. You get a heart monitor, and you get a complete food guide program, how to do the workouts, when to do the workouts, how to eat on 3 different levels,
Right.
and how to stay motivated and stay. So I put this whole thing together now.
I'm gonna check it out definitely.
It's off the hook. So Arthur, everybody I'd send this video to, right? Not video. I'd send this email saying, "Hey, thank you so much for believing in me, man. I really appreciate it. I would love to hear any feedback you have. I've got like 5 questions." And a lot of people say this isn't really DDP, but I'm going to answer this anyway because this is good marketing.
Right.
Or some people wouldn't even return a message. And then there was Arthur, who was really detailed. I was like, wow, that's a pretty impressive email. So it made me email him back and say, so bro, it seems like you need, you have weight issues or something. Tell me a little more about yourself. I find out he's a disabled veteran, walking on canes for 15 years. That he, because of a paratrooper, had, those guys drop 18 feet a second. All that pounding, 18 feet a second, carrying 50 to 100 pounds on your back. That's worse than taking bumps off the top rope.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? That's brutal. And hitting ground, not a thing that moves with a mat. So I said to him, send me a picture of you and let me see what I'm working with. This is all email, by the way.
Right.
No conversation yet. And he sends me these 2 pictures. That one
Right.
and that one.
Wow.
I thought to myself, oh my God, how am I going to help this guy? Now, I've just been working with a nutritionist who's my brother's mentor. He's 80 years old, my brother Rory. His name's Fred. Fred today, with my brother's 52, they're both warriors, man. Ran 15 miles on the beach.
Huh.
And I mean in the beach.
Right, right.
And that's the only place anybody should run over 40 years old, period. But that you do what you want to do. They're warriors. Fred came up with this food combining program where you do not mix proteins and carbs. Because the hardest thing your body does is digest food through that 18 feet of
Right.
intestines that twirls all up in your body, then goes through your colon. Thanksgiving, we eat like gavons, right? We're going to the electric chair.
Yeah.
And the sugars and the carbs and the proteins and the and the vegetables. I mean, all this different shit we're putting in our body all at one time, and you go. "Rrrr." And what do you do after you're done eating?
Shit.
Besides shit. When
Sleep.
you sleep.
Right.
Why? Why do you sleep?
Oxygen, blood, and all that.
It's because your body shuts you down. Because it's so exhausted.
Right.
Say, you know what? We really can't let you move around and do shit while we're trying to do what you just did to your body. So the processing. And Fred found that if you eliminate the carbs and proteins together, also he's all about no wheat too.
Right.
Because wheat is the #1 inflammatory in your body, and the wheat that we have today doesn't even resemble the wheat that we ate 2 years ago. Never mind back when I was a kid, when you only got it in bread, pasta.
Everywhere, yeah.
No, but now back then you got bread, pasta, and Wheaties. Now it's in everything.
Yeah.
Gluten, Did you ever hear gluten more than 2 years ago?
No.
No one knew what gluten was. Now you can't go down in any drugstore or pharmacy, because that's what they are, drugs. You can't go into a shopping market and not see some part that has some kind of gluten-free shit.
Right.
That's because anything that's too much of anything is no good for you. I don't care what it is. Too much water will drown you.
Right.
You know, so when you're getting that, and most people have wheat allergies they don't even know about. I say most people, according to Dr. Northrup, very famous female doctor, she said that 1 in every 3 women have the wheat allergy and don't know it. Well, 2 years ago, I came up with 3 eating plans. 1, calorie counting. Just getting that cheesesteak out of somebody's hands can be a challenge. Calories in, calories out. But what I really believe in is no wheat and dairy. Dairy, I'm not so dead on that unless you're really heavy, because they just rub that cheese on your belly. Don't bother even eating it.
Right.
And your body doesn't like cow. It doesn't like wheat. Even if you don't have the wheat allergy, it really doesn't like it. Because the reason why the Wheaties last, or any, let's say Wheaties, any cereal,
right,
any processed food will last longer in the cabinets than we'll last on this planet, is because it's laced with formaldehyde. Your body doesn't know how to digest formaldehyde. So my brother for years tried to get me off wheat, and I'm like, fuck you, I'm not giving up the wheat. Till 9 months ago, when I went to get out of my bed, and my muscles went into spasm, I grabbed the walls and pushed myself back in bed. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck was that?
Right.
And that's what the best workout that keeps me young. But just like anything, you sit too long, it starts to creep in. Since I've been off wheat, I pop out of bed. I feel, I could be cramped like this on a plane. I get up, I move around, I feel fine.
Right.
I feel like I locked 20 years off my body, and that's the truth. So I set in this food plan, which is level 3, which is no wheat, no dairy, food combining. You don't mix a protein with a carb. This is for people who are extremely overweight,
Right.
or someone who really wants to get healthy. Fred won't say this, but he's helped thousands of people with stage 4 level cancer get through it and go back to being healthy, changing just what they put in their mouths.
Diet.
What lifestyle? Diet. What's the first 3 letters?
Diet.
They all die.
Yeah.
So you saw the opening pictures. So after I send him that phase 3 eating plan, I send him an email with that saying, let me know what you think of this. Now normally, if I was to send this to a regular person, I'll give it a try, or I don't know if I can really do that, or all right, I'll give it a shot. You know, it's like, okay, I don't have time for you, because if you look like this and you won't do that,
Right.
then you know what? It's just only because you're so past. It's not like you're gonna lose 50 pounds or whatever, because that's nothing in this scenario. So he sent me back, I can do this. I said, send me your phone number. And that's where you saw him. He'd lost, those first 2 weeks, he lost 20 pounds and 4 inches off his belly. And I said, Steve, the guy who's filming that Inspired movie, I said, Steve, get your ass to Baltimore right now. He drove from Atlanta to Baltimore and interviewed. That's why we have that footage.
Right.
So as soon as I get done talking to Walt, this is why I told Steve to go call him. As soon as I saw, as soon as I talked to Arthur, he had a YouTube already up there. And he says, I'll play it for you because you'll appreciate this. And I'll show you where this comes from. I love having unlimited internet, man. This little gimmick
Is that
here.
what it is?
That's what this is right here. You can get it. You can get it.
$30 a month or something like that.
60.
Yeah.
But it's so worth it to me. The real DDP blog.
Right.
And this is something that we're, so I get all the different things as I go along, TMZ, and I can get people to subscribe on there. I've been working on this for 2 weeks, and now we're finally just getting it all together. We're launching it tonight because I got all this shit coming up from,
The media and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Perfect.
So keep it rolling, you know. And I got DDP TV. So when you hit that sucker, that brings you down here, and boom, here's all the friggin' appearances.
That's
and
awesome.
shit,
That's
right?
cool.
So,
Is Brian on anything? Because he was telling me he was on something with you.
yeah, Brian's on that.
I'll
You
check it out,
can check that
definitely.
out from Boston. Classic, man. All right, so let me pull up.
Oh, you got, what kind of computer is this?
It's a Apple.
Okay, yeah. It's got the same-
The PowerBook or MacBook Pro. That's what it is. Let's see. Let me pull up a YouTube here and pull Arthur, YRG. He didn't call himself Arthur. He used to use a gimmick name in the beginning, because he didn't, he's a teacher.
Right.
And so he didn't, he just was being,
Secretive.
just quiet,
Yeah.
and just, but still being out there. And this was the strongest here. Right here. Come around here. Let's see, is that the one? 3 years ago. You can see right here. This is 3 years ago. He puts it in here. Now let's see if. Oh no, why? That's the wrong one. YYRG. He did 2 of these back to back. One on the heart monitor, which he shows you how his heart rate goes up to 140, standing still, and he's leaning on something
That's crazy.
because he'll fall down. If anybody who's overweight like that, then they really have a. But look right here, YYRG. Okay, done 3 years ago. This blew my mind. I never showed anybody this.
Good evening. It's just after 9 p.m. Sunday, 11th February, 2007. Wow, it's hard to imagine.
How come it's so low?
It is low.
I will-
That's before,
Why
right?
have I gone all crazy on this diet and on the YRG and everything
Okay.
else? Somebody's bound to be wondering that, because usually I tend to live in the world of thoughts and books and ideas, and I tend to write about my teaching, Buddhism, all this other stuff.
Okay,
All
there's
stuff I'm
something else
writing
there.
about.
There's another one that maybe this is it.
Well,
Right
that's
here.
before he started the program?
No, he had just started it.
Okay.
He had just started it. Hopefully this will be louder.
Maybe if you turn up the volume on here too. On the actual
Hello, everybody. It's me. It's almost
That's it.
thanks to a snow day. I have
It's a little bit,
today
yeah.
off. I've been writing the last couple of days about this YRG thing, and I think I should come clean. The reason why I'm doing it is because I think, and I've read this in other places, I think that if I come out and say I'm going to do this, that I'm going to make this commitment, I'm going to try and get serious about my health and take care of myself a little bit better. They say that if you do that, if you tell people you're going on a diet, tell people you're starting an exercise program, you're more likely to stick to it. So it's not just I'm pushing a program, I'm also hoping you guys will every now and then say, hey, are you still doing this? So, it'll help me to stay good about it.
So I saw that, and I was
Positive thinking.
mind fucked because I was like, oh my God, I just got off the phone talking to this guy. And it's like the next day he put that up there.
Right.
And I was like,
So he was pretty motivated.
but you gotta remember, he's for 17 years or 15 years at that point, tried every diet. He's tried whatever. He's going to yoga studios and they said, we don't know what to do with you. So he had tried so many ways to try to eat. And this guy was a vegetarian. He was as high as 348 pounds. So I said when his son for his birthday put together part of this video you're about to see.
Right.
And after I could go back in time. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this guy's serious this time. I called him up and I said, Arthur, if you're going to do this, you need to get a real camera and you need to really track yourself. I said, do it with one of your sons. It'll be a great growing experience for both of you. So he made up this video for his birthday of him to a point where he was about halfway through this session here. And I looked at him and I called him up. I said, dude, this is amazing. We got to keep this going. So, and when we were all done, we had all the footage and he'd gotten all the way through the journey.
Right.
I said, I want to have that thing in the beginning where you say that, that thing about being, make yourself more accountable, but I don't know how to do it. And his son, who's got autism, came up with this idea. So I was like the director and he was the editor, his son. And Arthur, of course, was a star.
They say if you tell people you're going on a diet, if you tell people that you're starting an exercise program, you're more likely to stick to it.
Crazy, right?
Married for over 20 years, has 3 kids, 5 cats, and works over 70 hours a week as a special education teacher and administrator.
How strong is that? And we do 3 second, 5 second. He could do a push.
Arthur's 19-year-old son.
This is where he started.
As a labor of love for his dad. How cool is that?
That's where he ended up.
Doesn't even look like the same guy.
Started,
That's crazy.
ended up. This is 10 months. Okay, now this picture was probably taken a year and a half, but he was in this shape 10 months later because we had to get the videos, and he's actually in the new videos.
Right.
So anybody can take those front and side pictures. We take flexibility and strength pictures. And I want everyone, if you're skinny, I want you to take the same pictures. Come on, see how flexible you are. Look at that. No one can tell me you can't get your flexibility back. I was the same way.
I'm definitely gonna do this. You gotta tell me exactly what.
I'll guide you through it, and we'll freaking do the same thing on the Team RG. And as soon as I get all the way done with this, now this is my favorite picture. Without his son holding him, he falls. They just got to see that guy again.
Doesn't even look like the same guy. Totally doesn't.
It doesn't, but it is. From there to there to there, there.
Wow. That's crazy.
He's during this whole process, he's saying to me, Dallas, please let me do something for you. Is there anything I can do? I said, Arthur, have you looked in the mirror lately?
Right.
You're doing it every fucking day, dude. Oh my God. And he did not get it. I said, dude, you will not believe the people. This as he's going through this journey. When I saw him first walking, that wasn't the first walking. He was only walking in his house and getting a little bit better and a little bit better. And I said, you know, Arthur, you got to walk outside. You got to walk outside. And that's what next time I see you. Just don't care if it's in your yard, in your front, in your porch, whatever, outside. So he sends me a video, and it's, the trees will come up and over, and of a road that makes it look like a tunnel.
Right.
In the distance, it's got to be 100 yards. I see a little blip. And I'm looking at it, and the blip gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and I say, holy shit, that's Arthur.
Huh.
And then as he passes the camera, he starts jogging. Do you remember Cuckoo's Nest?
Yes, with
the Indian starts. That's what it was like. He's like loping, and then he goes up this hill, and he starts sprinting. And dude, Angie's just watching me as the tears are coming out. And she goes, "Oh my God, dude, you must be so proud." It's like I'm mind boggled, that he could go to that, and in 10 months. Today, the guy doesn't work 70 hours a week as a teacher, where he teaches the kids and adults with learning disabilities. He works about 55 hours there because he's got his 10 hours a week. He teaches YRG.
Oh, so he's now teaching it to people.
Teaches it,
wow.
But he does it with me every morning for an hour. I'm like, dude, why when you teach your workout, you do the workout.
Right.
He teaches that workout 10 hours a week, but does it with me 7 hours a week.
How do you guys do it? Over the...
No, the internet, my DVDs. Right. He puts in my most challenging DVDs, which really, you'll get a kick out of this, and you know all the story. When you get the DVDs, you want the max pack so you can change everything around. That's about $60 more or $50 more, but then you get all the shit. And he's in, I would say, the easiest video, which is energy. Anybody can start off doing that. And I did it so if he could do it. Use a chair, use something if you have to. But remember, he did it every day because his goal is he wanted to walk.
Right.
But he's in energy at its most challenging position. The other person's modifying. There's always someone modifying. So if you can't do that, don't worry about it. Can you do this one?
Right.
Yeah, I know you can do this one. Right. I know you can because that's how I did it. But he's also in double black diamond, which is a motherfucker, doing its most challenging positions. So,
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Wow. So that's what this whole loop is about, and getting out here and getting with people, because when I get people, I get them excited about it because it's all real.
Right.
It's like my character in the ring. My character in the ring, the reason it got over, people fucking went crazy, was because they watched me go through that journey. You watched me.
Yep, I remember.
When I was getting dropped on my head and falling off the side, didn't know shit, didn't know how to work, but I learned. And I did it by going down to power plant every day that I wasn't on the road.
Right.
And that pays off. Work ethic equals results.
That's a crazy story. That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, and that's what I'm out sharing right now. And I've seen that 100,000 times. Between making it and everything.
Right.
It inspires me every time.
Well, that's good stuff. I want to thank you for taking the time to show us that.
All right, man. So I'll see
you.
you.
Journey starts tomorrow.
Journey starts tomorrow,
Cool.
man.
Thanks, man.
Great hanging with you too, buddy.